This episode of MMA Nuts is brought to you by
Nectar Sleep, the most comfortable bed possible. Save 33% off and get free shipping with code MMANUTS. NordVPN, get advanced security, internet freedom, and complete privacy. Save 73% off the 2-year plan plus 4 months free with code MMANUTS. Purity Coffee, organic certified, high in antioxidants, and free of contaminants. Save 20% off with code MMA20. Drift Air Freshener, the freshest air freshener with no harmful chemicals. Save 15% off with code INGO15. Defense Soap, everyday soaps for everybody. Use code MMANUTS to save 15% off your order.
Hey fans, this is MMA Nuts, episode 611.
611.
My name's Ingo Weigel.
Macro of the MMA show. By MMA fans, for MMA fans, walk the line between serious and ridiculous. Let's have it ends.
Drinking a little vodka for the Blackhawks' victory
Shot in
drinks.
the dark. That's right. They had like an 11% chance to get the number 1 pick after we tanked the fuck out of that season.
Mm-hmm. Go
and
Hawks.
we get the number 1 pick. And here's another weird one. So you have the Chicago Bears ended up with the number 1 pick. Now you have the Chicago Blackhawks with the number 1 pick.
And we need the White Sox to also have that because we're having a terrible season.
Yeah, I heard there's like people talking about they should fucking sell the team or something.
I don't know. It's not fun to watch. You're getting blown out like 15-1.
Oh my god!
Just because with the pitch clock now in baseball, it's faster and there's more scoring happening, but it's just like we're not good and we have injuries and we traded away people. But the Hawks, on the other hand, we were just talking before we hit record that Connor Bedard.
Bedard.
You were saying
Something
like he's a Gretzky-like hockey potential talent.
Yeah, he's a generational talent. Probably like what they were saying is something like the best player they've seen in 5, 7, maybe even 10 years coming through, and he will be a Chicago Blackhawk. And now the Blackhawks will have 6 picks in the first 56 picks in the next draft. So they have number 1, 20, 35, 44, 52, and 56. It's fucking insane. So I almost wouldn't be surprised too if they traded one of those, because I think having Bedard on your team, you're going to accelerate that rebuild something fierce. So Kane may even want to be coming back to the Blackhawks now, because initially he's like, yeah, I'm not really interested because I think they're going to be on a total rebuild and probably don't want me back. But he might want to come back, and that might be helpful for the team. You can get him back at like $3 million a year or something semi-cheap for some of these younger kids. I mean, they're going to have a fucking hell of a team. Maybe not this next year, but the year after for sure. But
yeah,
it'll at least be exciting as fuck because that kid's coming up. They don't give a shit. He's playing, god damn it. And I think the ticket sales already went berserk tonight. I forgot how many millions of dollars of tickets were already sold just on that kid, his name alone coming to the Hawks. It's insane.
Yeah, we should go to a game next year. Let's do it. Opening day.
I'm always like, I have to see how they're going to perform, because like I boycotted the last couple of seasons just because they were dog shit.
Yeah,
and I think everyone was going, you want to go? I'm like, I'm good. I'm like, I'd rather them just fight and beat the shit out of everyone. But we'll see. It's
fun to go to the game. I think hockey does it the best as far as like live entertainment sports. They really keep the fans in it. There's a lot of stuff happening outside of the actual hockey, so it's a lot of action. So it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited. Chicago sports is looking solid for the next.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun year. Like between the Bears and the Blackhawks, like they both had to eat shit, and now they can both like run wild. And they're both doing it the right way, is what it seems like. So. It's cool as shit.
Yep. And the Cubs are doing well, so somewhat, so we have like we Chicago sports making
we got teams.
We got teams. We got players.
They do things, score goals.
They do. Do you want to talk a little bit about UFC 288?
Sure.
Here? Man, what an event, eh?
About as good as I thought, maybe even a little less.
Oh yeah,
that guy ranked it a 4 out of 10, and I think it delivered about a 1.5 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
And the half was Henry Cejudo. Yeah, it's just we could start there. Henry Cejudo, Aljamain Sterling. So it's split decision win for Sterling, but I don't know. It just, to me, it looked like Cejudo age is crept up on him. He was a little rusty too, so he's a step slow. And I think he was saying Aljamain was just, he's awkward to fight. It's a tough
Very
fight,
awkward.
you know.
It is.
And I think he also had problems with the range and the distance because Cejudo's got such a, and he has a weird as fuck stance, like chin up and almost Machida like, with almost a karate stance at times. It was weird. And then the range and reach of Sterling was a problem for Cejudo. So it just seemed like he couldn't really get it all together at the right time. So I think that was the right decision. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, 48-47 is how I scored it. I think I had Sterling winning like 1, 3, and 4 maybe, and 2 and 5 went to Cejudo. I don't know, like overall it's tough, man, because that Sterling matchup is really hard for most people, like you said. So it's like, is this a barometer for Cejudo? Like, does he suck? Should he retire? I don't know. I feel like, Sterling's just big time champ. I was reading something earlier. He's got the most wins in UFC bantamweight history at 14, the longest win streak in UFC bantamweight history at 9, and the most consecutive title defenses in UFC bantamweight history at 3. So he's like pretty dominant at this point. You kind of like go, I don't know. There was something I was reading about, like, where do you put Cejudo now in the rankings? Do you not rank him? Is he like in the top 5? How do you, because he's coming off of like that long layoff. So, I don't know where he fits in as far as all that goes.
Well, I mean, he won on one judge's scorecard. I mean, it wasn't a blowout fight, so I think he's got to be ranked top 5 for sure. Yeah. Where exactly, I don't know. And he said he's not retiring. He wants to fight the fuck was it? Merab
Ovalishvili.
Yeah. He wants that fight. And then the other thing I thought was funny, I think it was between rounds 3 and 4, Henry's corner says to him, "Let's grab your nuts and let him hang, Henry." Like, what are we doing? Like, this thing got super gay all of a sudden. Like, what the fuck? You got to win the teabag, my friend. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then you had Sean O'Malley coming into the ring, the octagon afterwards, during the interview, and they're talking smack. And
am I allowed to show that? Because that Dvalishvili guy had a funny moment. Am I allowed to show any of this?
The picture, but not video.
Not the video. Yeah. Anyways, O'Malley has the Michael Jackson Thriller jacket on and takes it off during the like face off, right? And that Merab, let's call him Merab. Merab like steals the jacket and wears the jacket, and I guess he took off with it or something. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I think Sean even commented on it. He's like, "Well, I think that looks pretty good on him. Maybe you should have that."
Yeah. So I don't know. Are they going to run that one? I think the rumor around the campfires are going to do that one in Boston sometime in the fall or late summer.
Could be. I mean, that's an interesting matchup because he's lengthy like O'Malley, and he's just as awkward with a little more dexterity with kicks and whatnot. But we'll see. Just try to process if there's anything else for that fight. No, I think we can move on to Belal Muhammad versus Gilbert Burns. 5-round fight, which I wasn't expecting. I thought that was going to be a 3-rounder. And then Belal, it was a clear unanimous decision. So somewhere, maybe it was in round 1. I don't know if Gilbert had an injury coming into this fight, but Belal's throwing a ton of head kicks, and it could have maybe re-injured his shoulder. I think it was his left shoulder, right shoulder. I don't know.
Left shoulder, yeah.
Could have been on a takedown, but pretty much from like after round 1, he could not use the left. So he's a one-arm fighter for the rest of the fight. So they're telling him you can The double up with the right, throw an uppercut, just throw two. And if I say two, you double up. So he was kind of fucked, and he's a tough guy, but it's like, what are you supposed to do? You get because I think DC was even saying after round 4, do you just throw the towel in and let him fight another day because he's not going to win, or you just let him ride it out? And he's also fighting like a month later. Like he just got done beating Masvidal. Yeah, so it's like, is that taken too much too soon or what? I don't know. He just looked really small in there compared to Belal also.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's when some guys hurt like that, the corner, it's like I think he came in and multiple times and said it's all messed up, right? And it's like, I don't know at what point you go as a corner, like it's not worth like injuring yourself further. If that's like I don't know how you make that call. And I guess each fighter's individual, and they probably have some sort of agreement, don't stop it unless I'm dead, or who knows, so I can respect that. But it wasn't entertaining to watch at all. And it just kind of, now Muhammad did take this fight on like very, very short notice. So I think Dana said after the event that he's already Muhammad is locked in to be fighting the winner of Edwards versus Covington, which is happening, I think, in like 4 or 5 months or whatever. But
did that ever happen? Because I thought Leon was always saying, I'm not fighting Colby next. So I don't know if he even signed off or not. I haven't seen it.
I don't think I think the rumor around the campfire was like September, October, right? For that potentially, but I don't know if that's actually signed or not. Maybe it's not. Who knows? Because a fight that far away, like anything can change,
Yeah, because it's like John Jones and Stipe. I still don't think that's signed and set up yet.
It's not. And there's a lot of John Jones rumors floating around. We'll talk about, I'm sure, after this. But so, you got anything else for this event? Anything?
Just Kron Gracie should probably never fight in MMA again.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna fucking say that because it was funny. We're talking about, man, he needs to go back to his roots and use jujitsu. Well, fuck me. He went back to UFC 1 and just said, fuck striking. I'm just gonna kind of plod forward and pull guard and butt scoot. And when I get guard, I'm gonna do goddamn nothing with it. He couldn't be any more not interested in this fight than I've seen any fighter ever. And he was even being weird when they were signing posters on, I don't know if it was with the Embedded show or whatever, but he was supposed to be signing posters with Cejudo. So they both sit down and Cejudo says something to him, and then Kron's like, just let me know when he's done and then I'll come back and sign him. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you're not bigger in the sport because you haven't proved shit. Right. So don't be a dick when you're there. It's really weird. I don't know. He just seems so not wanting to engage in the fight. Like, yes, he fought, but it didn't seem like he was into it at all. Just like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to fucking pull guard and butt scoot. And when I get it, I'm not doing a fucking thing with it. And he got pieced up on the feet.
He did.
Like, it was just one of the worst performances I've seen by a fighter in a long fucking time.
Dare we say that the sport has passed the Gracies by at this point? Do we go that far?
Yeah, it's been like they've been passed for a while, which is unfortunate because if they didn't share their secrets, where's the sport at today? Right? Because they're like the godfathers of the UFC, and it's just weird. It's just weird. I think back to 93, 94, when I went out there to California and Torrance and met Hoyce and trained jujitsu with his cousins back when they were teaching me like self-defense jujitsu. So I'm learning one-on-one a lot of shit that worked very well in the streets back in the day. Because, like, again, no one knew fucking jujitsu early 90s. Like, I'm out there choking bitches out left and right. And when I say bitches, I mean stupid guys. But then once that cat got out of the bag and they started fucking training everybody and letting everybody know what jujitsu was, then it became like, who's the better athlete? and who's more well-rounded. It wasn't just style versus style. So
right.
and then you see him trying to be a throwback fighter, and that shit doesn't fly unless you are so, if you could get the takedown consistently,
Right.
then you can employ your game. And
Mhm.
he even had Damian Maia in his corner, which, you know, you could be really skilled, but you have to be able to get the fight to where you want it. And I think that employs, you have to have wrestling. You can't just be jiu-jitsu based.
Right.
So
You have to have it all.
yeah, it's kind of unfortunate because I don't like seeing you know, the son of one of the greatest in jiu-jitsu just kind of going out like that, you know, especially in the UFC, especially starting off the main card, shitting the bed. Like, you don't want to shit the bed when we start. Like, come on.
No,
that's why you have two heavyweights, bang it out.
Leave a bad taste in our mouths right off the
bat.
like,
oh, this is the way the card's gonna go, huh?
Right.
Fuck. And then decision, KO, and decision. So that's all I got for UFC 288. The only other thing I wanted to show real quick is they did have that you could put your name on the octagon thing.
Nice.
And who do you think put their fucking name on it?
The octagon? Conor McGregor? No.
Close. Little Bruce Buffer. Imagine that. It was funny because Cormier put, I think, his son out there. So it was like Daniel Cormier 2 or whatever. Video's not working again, but yeah. And then Bruce puts Bruce out there. They're like, I mean, not as God Kids or whatever.
Well, I wouldn't expect anything less from
exactly.
Bruce.
If you read his book, it's Bruce Buffer or go fuck yourself.
I'm surprised his letters aren't bedazzled or something.
Right.
You know, it's just like sparkly shit on them.
Exactly. Like a little Liberace flare on there.
Yeah. He's the ultimate playboy.
Yeah. I don't know how much longer he's going to do it for.
Till the wheels fall off, I think.
Yeah, I think once one of the three leave between Dana White, Bruce Buffer, and Joe Rogan, I think the other two will be pretty quickly behind them. Okay. Would be my guess. But out of those three, who do you think leaves the first?
Dana White, Joe Rogan, or Bruce Buffer?
Yeah.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's Joe, Bruce, and then Dana. I think Dana hangs on the longest. Dana might be the youngest. I don't know. They're all pretty close in age. Bruce is probably the oldest, but you know, Bruce is gonna blow out one more ACL, and he's gonna be out there in a fucking wheelchair.
I mean, it's a hard road because he does every single event pretty much. You know, and he's traveling all the fucking time everywhere. That's hard on you. So, are you okay? Are you gonna die?
Yeah, I gotta do some coughing. Hang on.
Okay.
Feel like I didn't eat popcorn, but my daughter just made some, so I feel like I have a kernel caught in my throat. So anyway, my throat. Speaking of clearing your throat, we should probably talk about some sponsor action.
Let's do that. This episode brought to you by Manscaped. Playoffs? Are you talking about playoffs? Yes. That's right. The playoffs are here, and your friends at Manscaped are here too, and they're making sure your balls are as kissable as the Stanley Cup. Hopefully they've not been to all the places as a Stanley Cup, because that thing goes crazy places. I'm
pretty sure the Stanley Cup has the HIV. So
yeah, whether you're an NBA or an NHL guy, you'll want to give your nuggets the best clippers to get rid of them pubes and help them see the summer sun. Don't let your little devils go wild. Use the Lawnmower 4.0 and get your boys as smooth as jazz. You can have the balls of kings by going to manscaped.com/MMANuts for 20% off plus free shipping.
That's right. There's a lot of ball talk there. Manscaped is a champion of men's grooming. You know why they call their staple product the Performance Package 4.0? Because it's the best way to get your body ready for elite playoff level performance.
And you can get 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com/MMANuts. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com/MMANuts. Pick a winner, hit the playoff push, and use Manscaped to shave that bush.
Word. Yeah, this episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Let's talk about sex, guys. Remember the days when you were always ready to go? Now you can increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed. Listen up, BlueChew.com.
That is right. And it's a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but in chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. It's very simple. You can sign up at bluechew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days from the US of A.
That's right. That's what it's all about. And Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at bluechew.com. Chew it and do it. And we got a special deal for our listeners. You can try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code MMANUTS at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's bluechew.com, promo code MMANUTS to receive your first month free. Visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. We thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast.
We sure do. And also brought to you by Fume. Cold turkey may be great on sandwiches, but there's a better way to break your bad habits. We're not talking about some weird mind voodoo from your crazy neighbor. We're talking about our sponsor, Fume, and they look at the problem in a different way.
That's right. Fume is an innovative award-nominated device that does just that. Instead of electronics, Fume is completely natural. Instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air, and instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses all natural, delicious flavors.
Stopping is something we all put off because it's hard, but switching to Fume is easy, enjoyable, and even fun. Fume has served over 100,000 customers and has thousands of success stories, and there's no reason that cannot be you, people. Join Fume in accelerating humanity's breakup from destructive habits by picking up the Journey Pack today. Head to tryfume.com and use code MMANUTS to save 10% off when you get the Journey Pack. That's tryfum.com and use code MMANUTS to save an additional 10% off your order. Head to tryfume.com/MMANuts to save even more, 10%. It's like ridiculous. They're giving away everything. So does that compound? Is it like 10% plus 10% plus 10%? Or is it
should
just
be.
10?
I think it's just 10 though.
It's just 10. Okay, gotcha. So yeah, there you go.
That's right.
Do all that shit. You should be at home shaving your balls or breathing a fume, while after you've taken your Blue Chew. And I think life will be good for you.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have a hell of a night. I'll just say that. Yes. What are you doing tonight? I don't know. Things.
Man, where do I want to go with this? Well,
exactly.
There's a couple of places, but let's start with this. Tony Ferguson.
Here you go. I always wait because I'm like, I'm gonna skip this because I know Ingo's gonna bring
yeah, you know me. I always bring up stories of a man down on his luck, but he was arrested for DUI after allegedly crashing into two cars
and rolling over. Right? Didn't he roll 3 times?
Flipped his truck over sideways and something
several times.
Yeah, sometime around 2 a.m.
But he doesn't do it the normal way. He does it the Tony Ferguson way.
Right. It's just bananas. He refused an alcohol test. As of
automatic DUI, right?
I think so. And then as of now, Ferguson's being charged with a misdemeanor and had bail set at $30,000. He was released at around noon on Sunday, this past Sunday, June. And he's gonna, I'm sorry, not June. May, yeah. And he's gonna be back in court sometime around June 1st, I think, to figure out what's what. I don't know. When I heard this story, I thought about Rampage Jackson for some reason. I don't know why.
I just hopped up on the monster, went on his rampage.
I don't know what happened. I think he had too many Red Bulls or something, and he just lost his shit.
He did.
And here we are. So hope he's okay. Hope no one's hurt.
Man, these MMA fighters and car incidents, it happens a lot. I wonder if that fixes Ferguson's CTE. Like you roll around 3 times, 4, slam your head around.
Like more trauma? Does it fix?
Yeah, probably. You probably go back. Probably resets you.
I feel like it'd make it worse. But
you're probably right. But
what do I know? You know,
I just want to think it helps him. Maybe he'll be a better fighter out of this.
Possible.
Probably not.
It's
I have
possible.
another story later that I'll bring up that'll refute that, but I want to buy into that. So let's see what's happening this weekend. We have a banger of a fight. We have a heavyweight, Rosenstruck versus Almeida. Is the headliner. You gotta like that. Mm-hmm. And then the other good fight, Anthony Smith and Johnny Walker. I like that.
It's a good one. This is a free card, yeah.
Yep. This Mackenzie Dern, Angela Hill fight is not on this one. This one got moved to, I think, May 20th. They're going to headline.
The headlining, yeah.
Because some other fight got jacked around.
Did I see Matt Brown on the card down there on the prelims?
Hang on. Yes.
There you go. Court McGee. Wait, weren't they supposed to go at this before? Am I remembering this wrong? Was this already supposed to happen once and it didn't happen?
It could have been. Both those guys have been in the UFC forever, too. So
I feel like I'm having deja vu. But okay.
I was just kind of scrolling through. You get things. There we go. Thank you. I have to have my no picture person. At least one per card, right?
Yep. This looks like a solid free card. Could be pretty solid. It could be pretty good. Might have to check it out.
Yeah, it's not like this one. We'll pull this other one up. UFC 289, maybe the worst sales in pay-per-view history. Nunes versus Aldana. As the main, because Juliana Pena got injured. Not that I was excited to see that, but you still have to have the rubber match.
Yep.
But then you have Oliveira and Dariush. Yeah, but is Oliveira is he back? I thought he was fucked up. So
I don't know.
I'm just gonna say he's back. How's that? I just saw him like steeplechasing or chariot racing on horses like 3 weeks ago. So he's fine. He's fighting.
I'm sure he's good. Yeah, but you're right. This yeah.
I mean, it's like not even ranked at this point, right?
No, there's not a whole lot of firepower on this card. Jeez. Pat Schnell, huh?
Well, at least I got fucking pictures for everyone.
Everyone has a picture.
Points for that.
That's happening in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's June 10th. So just about a month. Yep. 4 weeks.
Gotcha. What else? Let me see. Oh, here we go. Mark Zuckerberg. You see he competed over the weekend in a jiu-jitsu contest and he won some medals. There he is, getting his hand raised, looking svelte.
So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What color belt is he?
I thought he was blue.
Because he's wearing a yellow and green belt.
Oh, he's white. Sorry. Here, I'll go back.
So why does he have a yellow and green belt?
They're both white, so they it demarcate. It's like blue corner, red corner. So he has to wear an extra belt.
I thought he was doing this child system, so I thought he was on this yellow belt as a child, because it usually goes white, blue, purple, brown, black. And I thought he was white,
junior,
gray, yellow.
No, they throw an extra belt on the guy typically that is because they have to differentiate between the scoring. So, which I always thought was like a disadvantage of some sorts, but maybe not, because I mean,
it's another handle.
I think you can grab. Yeah, you can grab more stuff, but you could take the belt off and choke somebody with it, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's legal. But...
Well, he won gold in the gi and silver in the no gi.
Yeah.
Did he pay everybody off, or does he have skills? I saw a little bit of his grappling. I mean, he's fucking white belt, so white belt is white belt.
It is what it is. I mean, good on him that he's he looks like he's in. Oh, I found some Instagram pictures here. I'll show you. It's he looks like he's in good shape. Like there he is, right there, doing his thing.
Yeah.
Like, he's
lean.
He's lean. Yeah. So, jiu-jitsu will do that to somebody. You're going to get the shit kicked out of you, or you're going to your body's going to adapt and start getting stronger.
I'm sure he's taking the right supplements and he's got all the best coaches.
Mm-hmm.
So I forgot, was it Camarillo? Dave Camarillo is his coach or one of his coaches. I forgot. It was on one of the posts.
Yeah, Dave Camarillo, Guerrilla Jiu-Jitsu. Yep.
Yeah.
Dave Camarillo. So And a lot of these guys, like, he's not going to go in the studio and roll with random people. He's going to be rolling with Dave. A lot of
Yeah.
times probably, or a high level like other guy because he's fucking Mark Zuckerberg and he can afford that shit. So it's like
Yeah.
whatever.
And it's insane, like the skill level when you're grappling a black belt, they're just fucking toying with you. You're like, what the shit,
Seriously.
man? It's so crazy.
It is really crazy.
And then I saw Sage Northcutt just came back to MMA after a 4-year hiatus. I think he had all that facial reconstruction surgery, and he actually won his fight. And I'll show a little bit of this because it's a pretty shocking way to win a fight. I'm not going to share sound, but look how he's winning here.
Heel hook, huh?
Yep.
Damn.
Tap fast, tap early. Sage Northcutt.
Yeah, he looks like in great shape as always.
Yep. We got to do his fucking weirdo flip. Oh, fuck. I just closed my spreadsheet.
Oh, no.
That's a problem. So, yeah, I'll figure this out in a second. I was going to show one more fight as I open this up.
Okay, take your time.
Roy Nelson also had a win over the weekend. The bare knuckle. I think it was the Game Bred.
The
Jorge Masvidal. Yep. Oh, well, I'm not going to bring that one up. I can wait for you to bring it up. Here you go. Roy Nelson action. And I just want to say Roy Nelson continues to disrespect the sport with that fucking gut, but
that belly.
It's the KO nonetheless.
It's looking like a country singer. That's cool.
What else is going on out there?
Well, Shatri Sityodong from One Championship came out this week and said that they offered Ngannou somewhere in the neighborhood of $20 million and he rejected it because the money wasn't enough. Which is kind of wild just to think about. Was it last show or the show?
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Right. So Verdum comes out and says, hey man, like I'll fight you in the PFL, buddy. Come on over here, and we talked about Verdum being in phenomenal shape like last show or whatever. And then John Jones says, well, I am gonna fight Stipe and then I'm probably gonna retire unless Francis Ngannou comes back and maybe I'll fight him. So it's like I feel like this is all confusing, and I wonder if this changes your thoughts on where Ngannou might end up with.
No, everything. I think he's already. The way I understood it was, I think he's already signed with the PFL.
Okay.
And then he was shopping that offer to ONE FC. So then they said, okay, well, we can offer you 20 million, but they also didn't clarify, is it 20 million per fight or is it a $20 million contract for multiple fights? And then they also said for ONE FC that Ngannou was asking for crazy shit. Like he wanted a seat on their board of directors. And they're like, that's not going to fucking happen. And then he also was saying he wants his opponent cannot make under a certain amount when he fights Ngannou. So he was trying to help another fighter, but just like crazy things he's asking for. Like, I get you want to try to push what you can. And if he has a deal, he can go in there with crazy fucking ass. Like, hey, I want this, I want that. And they'll say yes to this, no to that, yes to this, no to that, or just no across the fucking board. It sounds like that one was a no across the board.
Yeah.
But then I think his manager was also talking about the UFC and why he left was part of that championship problem where if you're the champ and you lose, your pay gets cut so significantly, it almost makes zero sense to continue fighting with the UFC. Because so when you're a champ, you're getting millions of dollars, more than likely a cut of the pay-per-view. But if you lose, you're like back to where you were so maybe you were at $1 million and now you're going back to like 200,000 a fight.
Oh,
that makes zero sense.
No.
Like why who would sign up for that? I fucking wouldn't. You can't cut my salary 80% or whatever. when I'm at the top of the world, I'm one fight away, and you could have a shitty judge fuck you up, and it's a split decision the wrong way, and now you're back on like some pie level. Like, no thanks. So I get it; it makes sense, but just wild.
Super wild, not wild.
What else? I saw Cris Cyborg just re-signed with Bellator, multi-fight deal. So
Nice.
they're probably finally going to do the Cat Ngannou fight, because that probably makes sense. Interesting to see, because they're both up there in age now. I mean, I still probably favor Cyborg in that one, because Cat's been doing way better, but she's hit or miss sometimes. Like, you saw how she fought Ronda Rousey, comes out with like a crazy flying knee and then just gets like a weird armbar, like 13-15 seconds in the first round. And so we'll see. What else is happening?
Well, I don't know if this is what you were thinking about waiting for me to bring up. This is a weird story about Jake Shields. Are you did you follow this? Okay,
no, go ahead.
So apparently he's been in this kind of beef. He's very anti this transgender movement as far as in sports. And we talked about this off and on at times, how we don't think it's fair for males who become females to go and, compete in a woman's sport, because it's just not,
Yeah, it should just be chromosome based, period. That's how you compete.
Right. But Mac Beggs, which is now a transgendered male, was a female that was competing in wrestling 2017 to 2021, whatever. And was so confusing as the transition was happening. There was testosterone treatment and all kinds of things to make the transition to a male, and so he was winning all of these things, and there was like a lot of hoopla about like, what the fuck, like, you're on the shit and you're competing and killing everybody, and there was like a major difference between before and after as far as strength and everything. So Jake Shields there was some beef back and forth. And Mac Begg recently calls this Jake out and says, official call out. And Jake said that he wants to fight in MMA. And Jake's like, fuck it, I'll fight your ass. And so this is all going to go down here. Here's, I'll show you the video of, this is what this person looks like. But so Jake Shields, an MMA fighter, is going to fight this person, potentially. And I wanted to get your thoughts on retired fighters fighting people who are not fighters, plus being transgender. Like, what the fuck is going on right now? I'm so confused. This makes me very uncomfortable, and I don't know why. So,
well, I'll just take it a step back again and say, you need to compete in a sport with whatever the fuck your chromosomes are. That's how we classify you. I don't give a fuck if you think you're a unicorn, whatever you are, you fight other unicorns if you're a unicorn.
So only other transgenders or whatever?
I'm confused. Fight what your chromosomes are.
Okay.
So if you're XX, you're fighting XX. If you're XY, you're fighting XY. And don't ask me which one's which, because I fucking forgot. So I think XX is female. I think XY is male. But this whole thing is fucking stupid. I fucking hate it. And I even hate letting girls in high school wrestle the boys. I've argued against that too. I understand there may not be a wrestling program, but it's fucking horrific for each gender. Like, you don't want the girl if you're the boy, like, how do you live that down? Like, that kid's gonna be fucked up forever. Like, oh, you lost to a girl, like, blah blah blah. And then the guys are always like fucking beating the shit out of the girls during practice. So it's just keep everybody apart. Don't let them cross. It's a fucked up thing. And I get what Jake's trying to do here, but again, what are you gonna prove? That you're gonna submit this person?
Well, I think he wants to take out his anger towards this movement on this Mac Begg individual. So, I mean, Jake's not always been known to make the best of choices.
No, didn't he just like fight someone in the gym recently in the last couple months? Like,
he did. So
I don't like your views, so I'm gonna fight you right here. And he's also was part of the Nick Diaz brawl with Mayhem Miller. I think,
yes,
wasn't it Jake who's in the octagon or the ring, and then fucking Nick comes in, and then fucking everybody fights.
So he's a thug, but
he is.
You gotta appreciate that he's a thug with everyone. He's not.
Yeah, he's consistent.
Non-discriminatory, thuggish. Even babies, just. You eyeballing me, baby?
Yeah, you looking at me, fucking crazy-eyed bitch? I will fuck you up. You think you can't walk now? Just wait till I get to. You're crawling forever.
Oh man,
great. Thanks. Funny. I'm ripping your leg off and go to. What's this other thing? So I saw there's this article that came out. It's talking about the life expectancy of elite athletes in sport.
Oh, geez. Okay.
So basically what it came down to is if you were a heavyweight boxer, that basically takes 10 years off your life.
Wow.
And I'll pull up the graphs here so we can kind of take a look at some of this. So this is just showing in general, like what happens, because every other sport, your life expectancy goes up except for boxing, where it's taking off an average of 5 years, but a heavyweight, it takes off 10 years of your life. And then soccer goes up, and you can see it goes all the way. I think tennis goes up 8 years, 7.8. So
I wonder why tennis is so high.
Probably just because it's more cardio and zero head contact.
I mean, what about golf?
It's there at 5, but golfers aren't always in the best shape. Like John Daly. Good
point.
Tennis, you're running consistently. At soccer, unfortunately, you're taking a bunch of head shots too. Like you're heading the ball, you're going head to head. You might get kicked in the head. I saw that my daughter's soccer games, where the girls are, instead of heading it or catching it with their chest, they're going with high kicks. I'm like, why? Can you keep your kick below waist level? Because you can fucking kick someone in the face. So they had all that. And then there was another piece of this thing about the link between head trauma and cause of death. Once again, boxing. Number one, 22.9. The question is, where does MMA fall in this? I didn't see that, and they didn't talk about this in this article. But I would imagine it's pretty close to boxing. It's boxing, football. I don't know why golf. Like, are people getting skull fucked by golf balls like at a high rate?
Head trauma on the golf course.
Tennis, I guess you could get blasted with the ball. Basketball,
maybe you fall out of the cart and golf, and you fall out of the,
right? Because how is hockey not number 2? Because they fight in hockey. It's just, some of this seems weird. So anyway, don't be a heavyweight boxer. I think it's the moral of the story.
Not if you want to live a long life. That's true.
Right. So we'll see.
But if you want to have a tiger in your front room, then you should definitely be a heavyweight boxer.
Yeah.
AKA Mike Tyson.
That's right. And you could stroke his balls if you're in Thailand. What else has happened?
I got a couple of videos, just random people doing random shit. I'll just blow through these two real fast. I found on Instagram. I probably won't share sound, because who knows what's going on. So here's this happened at a bar, some Lightning fans. It's a little skirmish that happens. This guy gets pieced up. Mr. Man in the Hat decides to throw a spinning, and he knocks this guy down. And I just see old guy in the hat right here. I always wondered, like, what's up with these dudes, like, coming in out of nowhere and just.
Well, that's the promise. It's the punch you don't see that fucks you up the most. See, that guy didn't see that one, and
he's done.
This guy definitely didn't see that one.
No, they all look pretty. That guy. So
yeah.
And then here's the kick you don't see. Guy comes out of nowhere and pieces up dude. I'm not sure what the backstory is, but here he comes and runs away.
That's a brave man. Let me sucker punch and or kick you. Run away.
Yes. So I don't know, the things I find on Instagram.
Well, it's a lot of street fights. Here's another one. This is a Gracie breakdown of a street fight at a hockey game. We'll just do I don't know if I can play it, but basically it's Ranger fan. Let's see. Chokes out a Devils fan, and they're showing you like all the things. So like the Devils fan fucking strikes that guy. The other guy puts him in a rear naked choke, takes him down, drops him off. And then the Gracies are like, if this guy gets your back, you want to bring him back to you. And if you can't get him, you want to break his knee down. Otherwise, he'll hip toss you.
Yeah. You guys are always doing weird shit.
So insane. Pull their shoulders, grab his cock and balls, squeeze him as hard as you can.
That's all these guys are doing.
Make sure to put them to sleep gently.
Yeah.
And don't forget to buy our backpacks.
Mm-hmm.
I think they like did a Kickstarter for some backpack and they raised like $200,000 to make this fucking thing. Something
it folds in on itself or something weird.
Yeah.
Right.
Good for them.
Mm-hmm.
Making money. And then I'll do a little sub of the week. Invicta had a little buggy choke. So we'll show that.
Buggy choke.
Yeah. I couldn't tell what the fuck was going on.
Okay.
Because you see her on the bottom and it's so hard to see like what this shit's going on here.
We don't have the angle.
No, we might get it in a replay.
So girl on bottom's got the choke locked in.
Yeah, it's almost like a
buggy choke.
Triangle kind of, but her arm is like around the neck.
Okay. Where's the pressure though? Is it on the neck?
Yeah.
So it's like okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't have the opposite angle. It's hard to see exactly where it is, but we have to fucking look at that. It's just like one exotic chokes. I think twister, buggy, something weird. Do a little tweet of the week.
Mm-hmm.
This one goes out to Tev Talks MMA, talking about Kron Gracie at UFC 288. 6 significant strikes landed, 0% takedown percentage, 0 submission attempts, 6 conspiracy theories shared, 3 guard pulls, 5 mean mugs, 3.5-year layoff. Still ass. Hot fire.
Jeez.
I'm still sharing my screen. Take that. I lost my mouse. Oh no. Take that. I'll fix that later. And then this is Mac Malley said, this is Henry Cejudo. After 3 years of saying he's coming back to make a huge splash at bantamweight.
That's funny.
I always like that. Henry Cejudo, making it happen. One fight at a time. Mm-hmm. And then we have a new contender for worst tattoo in MMA. This goes out to D. Gomes, female fighter. Got this interesting tattoo over the weekend.
Whoa.
So she got a D on one butt cheek and a G on the other.
Okay.
Little dick grabber.
Dog.
Duck grouse. I don't know what
maybe
she's
she
into.
meant to say dog.
Maybe it's a D-O-double-G or a single G. All I have is knowledge left. Yet anything else?
I have well, part of my knowledge. I have a couple of t-shirts I found.
Yeah, go ahead.
So here's the first one. Born to shit, forced to wipe. And my favorite, since it's no longer too soon, it's been a while. The Cosby Gang. Either we fucking or I'm fucking.
Nice.
It's just not too soon, is it?
Yeah, never.
Okay.
I'll share my t-shirt then. Face down, ass up. That's the way I want to be remembered. What?
Oh my god.
So I'm a tombstone. No, I don't. But anyway, shut it down. Blackhawks.
Go Hawks. That has been another edition of MMA Nuts. My name's Ingle Weigel.
Matt Groove, thanks for playing.